Welcome to a special Dancing Goddess and Dragon Empire. The Phoenix, Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, one empire under the sun and the stars on earth. And the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal revolutionary centrist party. Special Saturday, 28th of August. Still in the process, yours truly, Adrian H. Born being reborn as yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon, ADRINHNHDRAGON. Androgynous Rainbow, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire under the sun and the stars on earth. For world peace, international justice, global freedom, attaining harmony between civilization and nature by ensuring freedom by securing the three elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport for all by a public-private partnership. Yours truly founded paradoxically during COVID. My allies and armies, blessings in my name, Adrian Hana Dragon, with healing, health, healing need be. May you be able to do millions of push-ups, squats, hawks, millions of trillions of dance moves. Trillions of kisses from the goddess, within his space, within his stars above, who sends a kiss to the little sister from that dances with her brother's son. About to drink a cup of coffee. We're gonna do some art, some reading on this 37-hour, 49-minute, 42-second Sabbath. The Dancing Goddess and the Dragon and the Phoenix Sabbath will be almost 38-hour Sabbath beginning at Friday midnight in Hawk Island, formerly known as Montreal. Retrieved 3 books on my last march. I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, commentary, meditation, since I can't recite the whole book because I don't have the copyright, can only read parts of it. Yes. This little book, it's called Radio Astronomy by J.H. Piddington. And in a parallel life, yours truly, Adrian H. Born, being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon, science, innovation, and technology would have been a path, albeit diverged to not necessarily the opposite in a opposing manner, but the opposite in a very important complementary, corresponding, necessary manner of the irrational, the emotional, the spiritual, the feeling, artistic, more philosophical, and although not entirely devoid of some logic and mathematics, of which I still know a little bit about. Could always learn more, but in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been the main focus, main path, if you will, of yours truly, Adrian H. Dragon, although diverged and perhaps somehow intersect with parallel self in the coming minutes, hours, and days ahead, and my brain by that scribe of all science, knowledge, and wisdom of the universe, thought. Or perhaps intersect. Of course, the logic, doing, thinking aspect doesn't have to be in opposition, doesn't have to be in conflict, but can be complementary and cooperative. And that is the mission, vision, and philosophy, of course, of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, a non-sectarian, calling all willingly loving to join and secure freedom, defining and securing freedom, liberty is a double-edged sword of freedom, is a heavy sword, heavy to lift. My tiny hands can't lift it by solo. So the irrational world, emotional, feeling, emotive world is the necessary counterbalance, of course, to the logic, mathematics, and the doing, the thinking, the being. So yours truly, this 1:56 p.m. EST in Hawk Island, Montreal. I'm gonna do a meditative discussion reading of this book, Radio Astronomy, which I have retrieved on my way back. And this book, Endurance. Endurance, a Year in Space, A Lifetime of Discovery by Scott Kelly. And this book, which I retrieved in Sweden, an introduction to diesel engines. Those three books last week on my march for world peace in Hawk Island, Montreal. On my way, I have retrieved them, and I've decided to take them in the fourth dimension to that trilogy of these three books. Introduction to Diesel Engines, Endurance, A Year in Space, A Lifetime of Discovery, and Radio Astronomy. Which those equations only know what they mean by parallel self in a parallel timeline and in a parallel life. Science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path in that parallel life and diverge. And as I said, not necessarily that logic and mathematics and doing and thinking doesn't have to be in opposition with the emotional, the feeling, the psychological, the being aspects, right? The dancing goddess in the Dragon Empire is non-sectarian, is universal. As is the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, universal, revolutionary, centrist party, which I view as truly as founding for world peace, international justice, and global freedom by securing the three elements of civilization and working to attain harmony between civilization and nature with nature. The dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire are one. Of course, the corresponding mottos, which of course, of the dancing goddess army, officially titled International Integrated Dance League, of which I'm calling the creation of, calling especially on my brothers in the NFL, National Football League, National Hockey League, NHL, NFL, National Basketball Association, NBA, MLB, and European soccer. I'm saying, because they're patriarchal sports leagues, there's not even one women or integrated as the dancing goddess empire will be all gender, all ages, all sexual orientation, inclusive, cooperative dance league. Of course, there can be high competition in dances at high levels, but in general, it's cooperative and for joy, for pleasure, and for the purpose of Mother Nature, the greatest artist, and the environment, to clean the oceans, rivers, waterways, lakes, forests, mountains thereof, and mass finance, solar, hydro, and electric power. And so that is the National Dance League, of which I'm calling the aforementioned NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Basketball Association, NBA, NHL, National Hockey League, MLB, Major League Baseball, and European soccer give no less than half, 50% of their finances in order to finance this international, global, worldwide dancing goddess army. Speaking of dancing goddess army, the dancing goddess empire, which is one empire with a dragon, which you can see the red dragon, part of the red dragon flag, two dragons there intersecting. Flex a bit. My fitness journey, 72 pounds down. Since my fitness journey began about a few years ago, 72 pounds down in this room office in Temple was converted into a gym, and where I've began and created my, paradoxically, in a providential parallel way, the General War Integrated All Body Training System, which is the de facto examination and training of the Dragan Army, officially called the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, which I'm calling all willingly to join, and which I've created, of course, before COVID, paradoxically in a parallel way, October 2019, when yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, war, civilization, and politics, an independent security analyst and theorist. I was analyzing the situation in the world, and I was saying that we are on a path to World War III due to the factors which I've analyzed, such as the US-China trade war began by the Trump administration in 2018, early 2018, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou by the RCMP Canadian authorities in order to honor an extradition treaty with the United States of America, with the USA. Subsequently, the arrest of two Canadian nationals, Michael Spavor, Michael Kovrig, of which Michael Spavor was sentenced to 11 years about 21 days ago, authorities in China. And other historical events such as Pearl Harbor. So taking those into consideration, I said that as a paradox, as a world peace advocate, we are on a path to World War III. So after having experimented with different workout techniques in this underground room office and temple in Nahak Island, Montreal, of which at the present moment in time and in the process of purifying, cleaning and reordering, got a 31st August deadline, midnight September 1st if you will, Tuesday to clean, purify and reorder is going parallel with the timeline of the deadline for the withdrawal from Afghanistan by US and allied NATO forces. And speaking of NATO forces, since in my scenario, which I've created to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario, which I've created to go hand in hand with my workout, the General War Integrated All Body Training System, of which I've performed 213 sessions so far. The first session was October 17, 2019, and of course I've documented proof as I've documented my fitness journey on this raw, real, revolutionary, unedited channel on YouTube. Documented my art, my poetry, my philosophy, so on and so forth. Created a workout designed to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario. 93 days later, COVID-19 health and financial crisis occurs. Now, I had COVID before mass testing was available. Got 2 vaccines right here in the goddess and willing to get the third. The goddess forehead. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Cup of coffee. Remember the motto of the Dancing Goddess Empire, Dancing Goddess Army. The goddess that dances with her brother sun, makes, creates, and produces all fruits, all legumes, all vegetables that our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest, first to build, maintain, or upgrade civilization. Even those fruits which were made, created, and produced back in ancient Egypt to harvest by the Nile, those dates, that wheat, those grapes, were made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, fun, harvested by our brothers and sisters, farmers back then, our ancestors. The Middle East, of which civilization arose more than 3,700 years ago, as we of that story in the book of Genesis about the one named Jacob who struggled all that night and got injured, and when dawn arose, said, "Let me go. I will not let you go until you bless me, and are blessed with a new name." And when he ate, and those fruits made and created and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, those fruits, even this black coffee bean, which was from a red berry, was made, created, and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun. Even those fruits back in ancient Rome to build those aqueducts, those colosseums, roads, were made, created, the fruits, the legumes, that is, the vegetables, created by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, and harvested by our brothers and sisters, farmers back then as they are today now, whether in Hawk Island, Montreal, to build new skyscrapers in this August 2021, or in New York or Berlin or Tel Aviv or Beijing, China, for that matter, worldwide, globally. This is the universal truth, if you will, of which there could be a few as we are aspiring, myself included, towards humanity, a new race, a free race. 7 letter words, FREEDOM, of course, has been a hard struggle. And of course, I'm going to say, of course, before I do diverge, that the goddess who dances with the birth of the sun and making fruits, vegetables, and legumes, that I'm going to say I realized during the COVID how fucking useless I can be with all my millennial multilingualism, fancy, sophisticated, or intellectual, sophisticated English and vocabulary and knowledge of, well, being perfectly multilingual more than trilingual. I fluent French, English, and Spanish in an oral and written manner, plus a few other languages in an intermediate level on the side, a little bit of Russian, a little bit of German. I'm still learning Chinese, Mandarin for standard, for world peace, that is. And I realized, and just my friend, teacher, one I love and call sister, to that trinity of sister, friend, teacher at the fourth dimension of being, my one and only financial sponsor at the moment, in a matter of fact. Got filters and the apparatus, the machine, the gadget for yours truly, Adrian on a Dragan, to drink cleaner, purer, healthier water. And it was a quote by Albert Einstein, which was not too familiar with. I'm very familiar with the quote, maybe because of a biased inner bias or XYZ subconscious reasons. I'm familiar with the Einstein's quote, imagination is greater than knowledge, and perhaps because in this life I've diverged and I had a hard struggle, suffered, was depressed, suicidal, lonely, and repressed my bisexual, homoerotic, interracial desires and pansexual for more than 3 years. It's been only 7 years since I'm in the open, and many struggles of addiction and chronic illness and precarious work employment and other struggles. From what I know, although I had a near mortal head wound injury and paradoxically in a providential parallel manner acquired Savant syndrome due to that near fatal injury. Acquired Savant syndrome, and I'm learning new skills and new art and new developments, talents, which skills that I have not possessed. I do remember something, some things I forgot. But nonetheless, gotta thank my friend, teacher, and the one I love and call sisters below, fourth dimension to that Trinity friend, sister, teacher, for filters for me to drink cleaner, healthier water. And the Einstein quote, which I was referring, is his quote of imagination is greater than knowledge, and because it's parallelly it's a scientist, but yours totally diverged and is more in the spiritual, artistic, emotive, feeling, passionate side of life. Although still have a little bit of math, still can do a little bit by the head of percentages and fractions and multiplications and divisions and additions. but it was reading more than a paragraph is that he's grateful every day that he realizes that his work is able to do his work is dependent on the labors and the work of many who came before him, right? So during this COVID, I said, well, all struggles, suffering, I've been through the suicidal, the loneliness, these mean streets, the hard island Montreal. Libraries became my second home. The books became many of my friends read thousands of books written, thousands of pages of theory, proposals, reform, and thousands of poetry and thousands of songs. In this booklet, the beginning origins of the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal revolutionary centrist party. The pages. Future economic system. Fusion. The fusion economic system. Theory, which is simplified, a simple equation of to create a new global central bank, to issue a universal unit of exchange, which I'm calling the creation thereof, in order to institutionalize the two institutions of the Dancing Goddess Army, officially titled International Integrated Dance League, in parallel with the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragan Army, and the Phoenix People's Party, for world peace, international justice, global freedom, securing global freedom by and attaining harmony between civilization and nature by securing the three elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport for all via public-private partnership, and to take all existing public and private debt. My private is 10,000. If I'm X1, you're X2, and there's hundreds of thousands, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of X's throughout the world, right? I'm X1 plus all the X's, which would represent the private debt, of which I'm $10,000 in debt at the present moment to the Royal Bank of Canada, and all public debt. Public could be Canada, if Canada is Y1, United States of America Y2, Germany Y3, Israel Y4, and so on in the alliance of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire. 37, 77, 93, 156, whatever the number of the country's member states. So all X's, all Y's, refusing it, and calculating the total number thereof, and with that number in US dollars, creating the new global central bank to issue new credit, new currency, unit of exchange, universal exchange unit. And by that central bank, by biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometrics identifier in a public-private partnership to secure food, housing, and transport by the Dragon Army, of which yours truly is the founder thereof, Dragon Zero, during COVID, which in a paradoxical providential way, of course, when I started my workout, which was designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, as I was saying, was alarmed that we're on a path to World War III. And so taking into consideration what had transpired up to that moment in time, October 2019, the US-China trade war, the arrest of Meng Wanzhou and the two Michaels, consequently, historical events such as Pearl Harbor. I was saying, as a world peace advocate, as a student scholar of history, wars, global civilizations, independence, security, analyst and theorist, said humanity, we are on a path to World War III, so created a new workout training program called officially General War Integrated Total Body Training System. 7 words: General War Integrated Total Body Training System. Translates simply as the 300 workout, and is the de facto examination for anybody willingly loving to join the Dragon Army. The rules, of course, are this: you got 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hocks. That trinity: 100 push-ups, 100 hawks, 100 squats. You got 93 minutes to do it. However, you can do a maximum of 13 repetitions per set, a minimum of 3 or anywhere in between. I am going to be doing and continuing doing sets of 10 reps per times 10 is 100. 10 reps per each set. 10 reps per set. 10 sets. 10 reps per set. 10 times 10 is 100. You can do in theory 13 and switch it around until you get to 100. However, there's no stopping once you start the countdown of the 93 minutes. You gotta march, you gotta jog, you gotta walk fast pace. A minimum of 31 seconds in between. Averaging me with the minimum 31 seconds marching, jogging, walking fast pace in between each set there is. So once you start the clock of 93 minutes, you got 93 minutes. It's an hour and a half plus 3 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, 13 maximum reps per set allowed, minimum 3 or anywhere in between. There's no regimentation, no official set. Within those rules, you can play how you feel during that day, how you want to be do it until you get it done within those rules. 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, maximum 13 reps per set, minimum 3 or anywhere in between. You gotta march, jog, walk fast pace, marching steps preferred, minimum of 31 seconds in between each set. Keep in mind, of course, it was created designed to go with a World War III scenario, and in my World War III scenario, what triggers World War III is a global financial collapse caused by a stock market crash, and 93 days later, due to COVID, February 20th, 2020, the stock market crash began. It ended about April 7th, right? It ended about February. It started February 20th, 2020, about ended April 7th. Now, my trinity on COVID has been, is, and will be this. First and foremost, brothers and sisters, fellow allies and armies, willingly loving pledge your allegiance, yours truly, Adrian, Dragan, Androgynous, founder of the Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon Army, and the Dragon Empire, one empire under the sun and stars on earth. First and foremost, I do not know what caused COVID. Second, I believe it was snakes to human beings which transmitted it. And third, since I do not know for sure what caused COVID, there is a doubt in my belief that snakes transmitted it, not 100% proof. I cannot rule out another possibility, be X, Y, Z, accident in a lab, experiment gone wrong, man-made accidental virus, bioweapon, etc., etc., etc. A fourth dimension to my trinity on COVID, what do know 100% without any doubt is that before COVID, 93 days or so, October 17th, 2019, yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, civilization, an independent security analyst and theorist, created, designed, made a new workout training program officially titled General War Integrated All Body Training System, created, made, and designed this program to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario. After my analysis at that point in time, October 2019 stated that we, free world, the Western world, North America, humanity is on the path to World War III due to the US-China trade war began by the Trump administration, still challenging Trump to a boxing match on the Canadian-US border, where Dragon's fists will make Trump's nose grow like Pinocchio. Yo, Kanye, bro, sing that yo-yo, please. No more yo-yos. What the hell, bro? Taking those into consideration, created a workout, and paradoxically, in the providential parallel way, due to COVID, since July 24th, 2020, in the midst of COVID, had founded the Dragon and the Dancing Goddess Empire and the Dragon Army, calling all willingly loving to join, just as envisioned in my scenario, where the solution was mobilizing 1% of citizenry, 1% of adult population of citizenry, adult population. Stop throwing filth, dirt, and poison in my eyes, brother. I want this piece of egg. I analyzed what had transpired up to that moment in time. I was saying we are on a path to World War III. Humanity. And since, due to COVID, the providential paradox will pile away. Since July 24, that's what found that I began advocating for, just as visioned in my scenario, mobilizing crows, I love crows. Come back to it. Mother Nature is the greatest artist. Crows, these are the souls, of the witches that you burn at the stake. There's no god without a goddess, la la la. Yep, we can go semi-retarded, la la la. Yeah, we get dirty, but we get clean. Royal, lofty, please. Dragon army, yep. Dance and squeeze. Free kisses, free monks, free love. Get the soap and the hygiene. Clean those hands up real quick. Burr, germs, bacteria, public-private partnership in the public. When I'm in the private, I can turn it all off. Get naked, dance up in the naked, go crazy. We're not going public. The public and the private domain, dancing goddess, dragon empire, one empire under the sun and stars on earth. Can encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, exercise, do community work, do art, and reward people thereof. Once we secure food, housing, and transport for all by a public-private partnership in concordium with all technology, social media, telecommunications, and public and private institutions, and producers of food, even fast food joints. I gotta admit, yours truly, you don't know how Dragan if could eat a burger every day. And I gotta admit, my universal spiritual teachings is I'm not perfect. I got issues, I got vices, I suffered, struggled a lot, perhaps harmed people, insulted people in words or speech or actions. What do you want to punish me? Give me a slap. Go ahead. Give me a slap. Back. Almost loud. Just ask, allies and armies. For the rest, keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouth. If it's not for blessing and vengeance, may I be my name, Adrian, Dragan, 77-fold. And I don't owe nobody nothing. Peace and love for world peace. Slap. Back. Another one. Back. With consent, yours truly, I can. My allies and armies can give you pleasure. Adrian, Dragan, can I give 5 minutes or just swear at you? You dirty ass, the fucker, piece of. If you're an ally and army that make you feel good, okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Go ahead. I understand you got emotions of it. I'm not perfect, right? If you be to me 9 to 5, I'll be washing feet of my allies and armies, kissing, massaging, lotions. Right now, I could use massage. God damn it. Ah, shit. Body is a temple for purpose and pleasure. Remember before COVID, got an email about somebody blackmailing me about supposedly they turned off, and in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path. Diverged. Type Adrian Dragan's message, world peace, and Dragon Zero's message to the leaders of the free world. If you're an ally, type Dragon Zero's message to the leaders of the free world. Drop down and give Dragon Zero 13 push-ups with love and for the sake of world peace. my message is straightforward, direct. I was reading, of course, the other day in the past life was an Israeli, and saying that people get a culture shock when they go to Israel. And I'm calling Israel to come hopefully by 3 o'clock p.m. Today is 37 minutes, almost 38 minutes left till 3 p.m. EST in Hawk Island. calling Israel to become the 31st NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization member country, if not by midnight tonight, if not by tomorrow. So that in Israel, Israelis have the culture is more direct and straightforward, and it can be seen as rude. R-U-D-E, are you with me, huh? R-U-D-E, Rihanna, you already rich, girl, I love you, but you already made it, bitch. Yep, on the leash, put your forward piece. I say click and clap, let my man out. Yeah, I'm a rapper, underground street artist. Yeah, free, keep my name out of your mouth if it's not for blessing. Who streets, dancing goddess, priestess. Yeah, they don't like I say the priestess or the goddess. Way too much up. There ain't no guy without a goddess. That's what I gotta say. Dances with her brother, son. Yep, those trees that you see be green, that you smoking in the wood spleen. That's the hairs of the goddess or that little sister or that goddess, infinite stars, infinite space, Isis. Yep, sending a kiss to regenerate the world. I'm wanna put in on the leash. I'll say how much, bitch. Yep, I ain't got no money for no studio. Nope, I'm in debt. I admit I'm broke. I done been suicidal, lots of smoke. They ain't greatest artist 2021. I ain't no retarded. Yeah, please, bitch, regardless. I say retarded. They can say we got it. I love the sound of this. When I say goddess, I'm priestess. Gotta say, on no stress, no less. Yeah, the fierceless. Gotta do an art and sex and life. Please, on the TikTok on knees. Yep, on the Sabbath, pour me some coffee. Yeah, the straightest street. Smarter, little, light, let the light in. You're gonna have to excuse me for about 38 seconds before I get the next cup of coffee, because I got slow cooking beans, lentils, and two types of beans: black beans, red lentils, and this def like something else. So I'm just gonna pause, come back. We are back, my friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call sister, to that trinity. That's the fourth dimension of being my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. As in many times, not always, but many times she's right. I'm doing a slow cooking and she said that. And I have to check it every half hour because beans, they absorb the water. So she was right. So in other words, if I would not follow that advice, I would have continued and not pause the video to go check and add water. She advised. Advice, not advice, vice, lice. I am blending mice and cats with a little bit of ice. Clip and clack, what you got? Thunderpet when the slides. And more vibes. And another click and clack, little late main outs. I wanna do nothing out of spite, but out of LOV, that's right. LOV, 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 LOV. Love is action though. It was like blah 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 love for my allies and armies. I'm just gonna say I love you, blah blah blah. Massage, kiss, hug, wash feet. Massage, kiss, rub. Whatever work needs to be done, man. In a serious crisis, psychological, financial, emotional, Canada, North America, this Western civilization, free world, worldwide, man, world peace. So, anyways, this fell, and I came le ground black, le ground black, le ground black, and I'm not advertising nothing. It's just you heard the bang. If you heard the bang, that's what fell, and le ground black, a nice lion on it. Spray. Oof, I'm gonna take a bath later after this video, so that was shouldn't have sprayed, but wow, it smells good. Anyways, myself some more coffee. I'm not perfect. Got vices, got issues, and although I'm independent student, scholar of history, war, civilization, multidisciplinary poet, artist, yours truly, fundamentally, I'm the world's greatest living, dancing, millennial rainbow poet. World's greatest living, dancing, millennial rainbow poet. 7 words. Fundamentally, and then Androgynous, Pansexual, founder of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire and the dancing goddess. You can see the priestess dancing with the sun, representing the priestess of the goddess that dances with her brother the sun to make, create, and produce all fruits, vegetables, and legumes. And now, because switch the lights, the red dragon can see only a reflection of the red dragon. But I'm not perfect. As a matter of fact, as a universal spiritual teaching student, because I'm learning things every day as a student scholar of Western civilization, Judaism, and reincarnated many in past life, lived many nations, many empires past, ancient Egypt many a times, ancient Israel, actually 3,000 years ago in that story of the temple of Shlomo, Solomon, I was actually a servant to the priestesses, yes, priestesses, who were doing ritual dances, ritual incantations and chants, and ritual art in the Temple of Solomon. Priestesses, I said priestesses, women who served in a spiritual office. And I was their servant. So, to all dancers, willingly loving priestesses of the dancing goddess army, I can be your servant. I can wash your feet, bathe you, massage you. If those willing, of course, also want to have the service. If you're a dancer in the dancing goddess army. And of course, if you're a soldier of the dragon army as well, massages, kisses, same applies. No discrimination, gender, or whatever. If you're an ally army. The rest, keep my holy, sacred, and divine name, Adrian, Hana, Dragon, out of your mouths. If it's not for a blessing. Hope we have an understanding. Love you. And so, back to the past life reincarnation meditation. Was a servant in the Temple of Solomon. And I served the priestesses. Because there's a little bit of mistranslation, much mistranslation and misinterpretation in the Bible is not really literal. It's a lot of esoteric, mystic, occult, a lot of hidden meaning to it. But nonetheless, here yours truly, Adrian, Dragon reveals to you, Universal Spiritual Teaching student, priestess H Hana Hana, who dances for the goddess that dances with her brother son, dances for the goddess that dances with her brother son, who dances for the goddess that dances with her brother son. Yours truly, Dragon Zero, drop down, give me 13 push-ups, with love and for the sake of world peace, leaders of the free world, Justin Trudeau, Biden, okay, my brother Biden, love you, grandfather were astrological birders, me and Biden, Scorpios, but strike, half all the leaders of the free world, Angela Merkel, of NATO member countries, of which there are 30 member NATO countries, drop down and give Dragan 013 push-ups to love him for the sake of world peace. Yours truly, Adrian, Dragan founder, Androgynous, yours truly of the dancing goddess, and the Dragon Empire, the Dragon Empire and the Dragon Empire and the Dancing Goddess Empire, one empire under the sun and the stars on earth for world peace, international justice by securing global freedom. Before Dragon Divergence was a servant in the temple of Solomon. And the books that I showed, I'm not going to do readings today, but I'm going to take them because I'm taking a bath after 3:58 p.m. EST, so I'm going to read them in my bath. I'll do another video to report on it. Maybe I'll do a little. So I'll finish on the Solomon, I'll read the excerpts, and then so was a servant 3,000 years ago of priestesses, not priests, bearded, chased away the priestess of our temple of the goddess, priestess of the irrational world. Oh, how important the subconscious, the Sibyl dreams, of which our subconscious forces speak to us, right? No discrimination, yours truly for my allies and armies, yours truly Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Hana Priestess. Found this secondhand. I bought it at Renaissance, which providentially translates as rebirth, and this represents the goddess that dances with her brother sun, and it's also mystic, philosophical, and it is the emblem of a great artist, which I hope when I offer a million kisses from the goddess. I'm not too familiar with the artist. It says O-N-A, Ona, O-N-A, and red is my favorite color. Of course, red is the color of the dragon army, and green is the color of the dancing goddess army, and this, the dancing goddess and the dragon empire's colors are red and green officially, and the Phoenix People's Party, of course, is rainbow. And of course, there's no anthem with lyrics, as other countries have lyrics of their anthems. The dancing goddess and the dragon empire anthem will be a fusion of mixed classical music, rap music, techno music, rock music, pop music, of all genres of music mixed together, not at the same time, but and on that mixture, fusion of musical genres will be the background of children playing, laughing, and loving. That will be the anthem of the dancing goddess and the dragon empire. Children laughing, playing, and loving. No lyrics, no music. I mean music of all genres, universal, worldwide, global music. Pop, rock, pop, classic. 7 minutes and 18 seconds long. Short version 93 seconds, medium version 4 minutes 18. Perhaps bigger version 37, almost 38, almost 38, almost 38 minutes. The anthem of children, or 93 minutes, or whatever, different versions of the anthem of the goddess, the dancing goddess and the dragon empire will be children laughing, loving, and playing. And so O-N-A, Ona, artist, represents for me the goddess and is the emblem, something similar. The dancing goddess empire, and the red dragon of the dragon army, and the phoenix children, rainbow children, children of all colors, red, purple, yellow, circle dancing around the phoenix with the moon and the sun. That's what I want to see it as the emblem of the Phoenix People's Party. This is the emblem of the dancing goddess army, and the red dragon of the dragon army. The Phoenix People's Party, children dancing around the phoenix in a circle, in a rainbow, children. So this represents the goddess that dances with her brother sun, that danced in the past in ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, ancient China, and ancient civilization 3,000 years ago, that dances today. Somewhere in the world the sun is shining, although it's raining, and we need rain or water holy to make things grow along with the heat and light and life of the sun. So we need rain, holy water, right? The Nile and the river St. Lawrence, which encircles Hawk Island, Montreal, and of course the dancing goddess in the Dragon Empire. So this also represents the priestess or the goddess, and this is the inspiration for the emblem, which I've acquired. And no discrimination for my allies and armies. Visual legions, dancing goddess, dragon, empire, phoenix, people's party, yours to lead, and Hana dragon. For world peace, international justice, securing by a secured global freedom by securing and ensuring the three elements of civilization for all: food, housing, and transport. Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love. I love you, allies and armies. You're listening to me. You see me, you come as an ally, as an army. I don't want you to waste time. My message to my allies and armies is clear. Start loving, start kissing, start rubbing, start touching, start loving, start dancing, start working out, start training, start reading, start doing, start being. So I'm gonna do the being today meditation in the Sabbath, which begins at Friday midnight Hawk Island, lasts about almost 38 hours, officially 37 hours, 49 minutes, 42 seconds. I'm at 3:58 about. I'm gonna go pour water and take about a 1 hour and a half bath and meditate and read. Diverge back to the one of the many past lives of yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, who died during COVID. Adrian Hana Dragon being reborn as Adrian Hana Dragon, with every step, every push-up, every squat, every dance move, every marching step, every squat, every hawk, every coffee that I drink, sun ray, sunlight that hits and absorbs my body, every breath that I take, raindrop that falls on me, every breath, every moonlight that I see, every star that I count, every video that I make, thing that I do, reborn as Adrian Hana Dragon, Androgynous, Pansexual, founder of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire. 3,000 years ago, the Temple of Solomon, yours truly, was a servant of the priestesses. I had to do tasks, just cook for them, serve them food, massage them if they required massages after doing dances which could have been very demanding for their body. So I had to massage them, I had to prepare water to wash them, bathe them, wash them, their hair, to cut their hair. So I was their servant, and it was a privilege and an honor for me to be their servant. It was an honorary position. I was well fed. I had a housing quarter. I had bed. Sometimes the priestesses, they tickled me, so I liked it. I liked it a lot. Sometimes the priestesses gave me a massage. Although they didn't have to, but since I was their servant, they were not selfish, poison, like, only receiver. Only receiver. Only receive, only take. Ah. Right? I still like sticking for my allies and armies, those willing, I'm gonna tickle you, if you will, to be tickled. tickled. He wanted to be kissed, to be massaged. Anyway, so it was priestess to the in many past lives as well. But specifically in the Temple of Solomon was a servant to the priestesses. Cooked for them, cleaned their quarters, their rooms, had to clean them, to bring fresh flowers if they wanted, and on-demand service. So if they're required for measles, which yes, great priestess, how can thy servant David serve you? Just to be, just to ritualize that. The priestesses to bow in reverence. Required their service. But they didn't abuse me, of course. I was never abused in that past life. And many past lives where I was abused when I was chased as a priestess or the goddess Artemis when they came with their black robes. And I was a priestess dressed in purple and red and scarlet, dancing, loving. And they came in their black robes and their blackness and their two pole sticks. And they chased us out of the temple of Artemis. They chased us. Temple of Artemis. Right? They chased. There's a priestess. Said nah. Anyway, so I was in Solomon's temple. I was a servant of the priestesses, and mistranslation, misrepresentation of those women so-called concubines and wives of King Shlomo HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech, Shlomo HaMelech. That's Hebrew for Solomon the king. They were not wives. They were not concubines. It's 300 and 400, whatever number, 777 concubines and wives. And this is a great mystery revealed, yours too. As universal spiritual teaching student, as somebody who has lived in ancient Israel in the past life, and in the state of Israel, shortly brief life till 25 or so, served under Moshe Dayan after the state of Israel was founded. And so they were not concubines or wives, those 700. They were actually priestesses of the goddess. And you can see hints there, because it said that his concubines and wives did rituals to their goddesses, or the names are given there. Many of the goddess has countless names, of which one holy amongst holy, 7 letters. And the great goddess, infinite stars from the space above, sends a kiss to her little sister, the goddess that dances with her brother's son. Since that they burned incense, which they did, the Temple of Solomon. But they were not his wives or concubines. They were priestesses to the goddess. And I was their servant. There were other servants as well there. A legion of servants. Cooked, washed, bathed, massaged, cleaned their quarters, brought them services on demand if they willed, fruits, so on, and ritual, water from the Nile and from the rivers in Israel. And so that was the priestesses. They were to the goddess and not concubines or wives of Solomon. When I was their servant in the past life. A 7-letter word, eh? Goddess. Just like that other 7-letter word. Freedom still offends, right? And I understand people get offended. I get offended sometimes, right? So I say, hear the word black, and I remember black's word in my head, right? You're a mortal fatal wound, which kind of like blessing and the curse of acquired savant syndrome, but sometimes not. Sometimes pain, suffering, great change, and great transformation comes. I've been through suffering, pain, loneliness, poverty, still broke. But God has blessed. Yours truly got 77 trillion kisses from my allies and armies. That's a lot of kisses. That was only 156 kisses, but since I'm broke, minus $10,000 in debt to the Royal Bank of Canada, the emblem resembles a lion. It's just this lion here, which I got tattooed, and I'm 499 and 50 cents in the minus, in the red in my account. $10,000 is my line of credit. Line of credit. Paid not that bad interest, although of course my Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, the Phoenix People's Party position is no more than 10% on all debts and loans. Of course we're gonna refuse all existing public and private debt, take the number and create the global central bank, the Bank of the Goddess and the Dragon, the Phoenix, to finance the two institutions, International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, aka the Dragon Army, to secure food, housing and transport, and the Dancing Goddess Army to clean the environment, the mountains, the rivers, the waterways, the lakes thereof. Got my vaccine, 2 shots right here, forehead of the goddess. Willing to get the third, get vaccinated, get tested, had COVID, was seriously ill, thought I was gonna die, it was like death, pestilence and disease. From before mass testing of COVID was available, from end of January 2020 until about February 20th, 2020. It's very sickle and disease. It was like pestilence, death and disease. So get tested, get vaccinated, and in to have a maximum 10% interest on loans and all loans. Because now we have sometimes it's 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, 25 on credit cards and all that for setting a then maximum percent. Because I believe in principle of 10% charity if you can right now. Besides getting 77 trillions of kisses channeling by yours truly from the goddess to my allies and armies. Willingly loving. It's a lot of kisses. Got -5. $499 in the bank, although pay $4 every month to get a $500 protection, so I'm not gonna pay $37 fees. Just gonna pause a bit, go check again on the food. Take the advice of my friend, oftentimes teacher, the one I love and call sister, who has a fourth dimension to that trinity of sister, friend, teacher, to be my one and only financial sponsor at the moment, but me filters, cleaner water, and XYZ, so I'll go check, put water every half an hour or so, because the beans, which I'm slow cooking, absorb it. So 3 p.m. EST, we'll be back in 3 minutes. Just gonna pause it. We continue this dancing goddess, dragon, phoenix, Sabbath conversation, meditation, discussion for world peace, international justice, global freedom, security, global freedom, for the mission, vision, and philosophy of the dancing goddess and the dragon empire, which are one empire under the sun and the stars on earth, under the moon. Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal, revolutionary, centrist party. Yours truly has founded during this COVID as yours truly born Adrian H. Dragan died during COVID, and I'm being reborn as yours truly Adrian Hana Dragan, pansexual founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Party. Yours truly world peace advocate, multidisciplinary artist, independent student, scholar of history, wars, global politics, geopolitics, civilization, independent security, analyst and theorist, financial theorist. More cup of coffee. Remember, the black coffee bean was just grows in actually a red berry. Was made and created and produced by the dancer, the goddess, with her brother the sun, who makes, creates, and produces all fruits, vegetables, and legumes that we eat for us to build, maintain, or upgrade civilization that our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest, in which the leaders of the free world need to go wash their hands and feet and kiss. I realized during this COVID, it makes me think of paragraph quote in the book that my friend is oftentimes a teacher, has been, is, and will be probably a teacher. The one I love and call sister, has been my only family for many years now. And all those willingly living to pledge your allegiance to yours truly, dancing goddess and dragon empire. And I love you. You're an ally, an army. I really love you. Not just in blah blah blah, but action. Kisses, massages, washes, working out, training, exercising, doing. Dance for you, love you, physically, spiritually. Body is a temple for purpose and for pleasure. It's not something to be denied, ashamed of. And sometimes it's hard to admit the things that we deal with and wrestle with in the night, right? The hidden lusts, the hidden fears. the past experiences. I'm not perfect, perhaps, and I've done wrong. Perhaps the past years here I hurt a lot of people, men and women, made perhaps comments or gestures that were sexually, perhaps inappropriate, offensive, verbally triggering. I'm not perfect. I admit it. My apologies. I've apologized in the past. I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of wrong. I've been suicidal myself. You want to kill me? Crucify me. If I want to be a fool, this is just a fool. I want to be loved. I want to love. It's like those priestesses chased out of the temple. And that holy word, right? We called our sisters, our friends, our mothers, and daughters, and our lovers. W-H-O-R-E, 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 whores, right? Bear that name proudly. My lover, friend, teacher, sister. Holy whores, right? All names. You want to call me names for a few minutes? I'll let you. To my friend who's oftentimes a teacher when I love and call sister, I say, if you need 15 minutes to just scream at me, hey, you pieces, you goddamn, I got tiny, got, yeah, I got a tiny. The goddess said, well, I'm androgynous, I was born intersex, it was a little scar, I got a little scar, little feet, little hands, little scar. The only thing I got big, this big mouth. Got a big mouth, that's all. And a little scar. Tiny hands, tiny feet. It's just a clit leg. Alright? I rap, I rock. Art. Not perfect. Got vices, got issues. But besides perhaps the Royal Bank of Canada and a friend, sometimes teacher the one I love and call sister, I owe nobody nothing. Besides the 10,000 of the RBC, Royal Bank of Canada, a friend, teacher, sister, Trinity, as the fourth dimension of being my one and only financial sponsor at the moment. I owe nobody nothing, man. Founded the dancing goddess in the Dragon Empire with trillions, 77 trillion, 9300 million billion gazillion kisses from the goddess, and 93 trillion push-ups, squats, hawks, marching steps from the dragon whose eye is the sun. So founded the dragon army with those trillions of push-ups, squats, hawks, marching steps, and the dancing goddess army with trillions of dance moves, trillions of kisses. Although, got no money. That's it. Cleaning this room off some temple, purifying it, reordering it. Got a deadline at what? Saturday, 3:16 p.m. EST, Hawk Island. 3:16 p.m. EST Hawk Island. 3:16 p.m. EST Hawk Island. Got a 31st August, Tuesday night deadline. Wednesday midnight, September 1st. If not, give 10 more days for the consecrating, dedicating the Hawk Island, Montreal, formerly known Mount Royal, one of the three peaks in Hawk Island, Montreal, in the south center. Mount Royal, Outremont, and Westmount. Hawk Island, Montreal to Mount Royal is of course the headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Party. It's universal, global, worldwide, under the sun and the stars on earth, all willingly loving. And yours truly. That's my offer on the table to all my willingly loving allies. As if it's not about love. If you don't love me, you don't want to be loved by me. ain't got nothing in common, man. Ah, we ain't got nothing in common. Ah, we ain't got nothing in common. Ah, we ain't got nothing in common. I know. It's not easy, is it? The financial, economic, commercial pressures. I've been on this millennial. It's not easy. Seven-letter word, FREDOM. That's why Dragan Army, officially called International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, is all about ensuring, securing freedom. Three elements: food, housing, transport. Said me, to be honest, I eat every day. Could eat a burger every day. Not gonna say which one, because nobody sponsor me in the public, private fast food industry in the burger making. But and to my vegan brothers and sisters, I always said, if you sponsor me 2, even 3 meals, healthy, get the calories with my active lifestyle for me to eat. If you're willing, all days, 7 days a week, every day is 2 meals, or 3 meals, 2 meals and snacks, whatever. One big meal and there's snacks. Vegan, I'll take it. If you can provide that, you can offer me that, I'll take it. What do we have vegetarian people? You, because blah blah blah, right? I've been frustrated that organizations involved, and I will and am, will and was, am and will be a willingly living community work volunteering. I really believe in volunteering. I did a lot of volunteering in the past years, many community organizations. But sometimes I get frustrated. I'm not gonna name names because during this COVID I died, and willingly living I start at zero. Start a clean slate. I did wrong. I did years past. I lost a lot of memory. Got a mortal near fatal head wound injury. I lost a lot of memory. I remember some. I acquired Savant syndrome XYZ. A lot of things I don't know. A lot of things we need to learn. I'm not perfect. I lust a lot. LUST a lot. Could make it my full-time job. Extra time. Overtime. OT. Anyways. So it takes also humor, comedy, right, to make the freedom, right? It's a hard thing. 7 little word. It's like must be insured, must be secured. It's got groups, interests. Hijack, selling utopia. I'm not selling utopia. Sure, we can try to make it better, try to make utopia. The other days I wake up, I'm pissed off, I cannot afford a massage. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna feel pity for myself, but I've done a lot of that. Self-pity and self-harm. Suicidal. I was a youth teenager, was homosexual, repressed, bisexual, burning my skin with cigarettes because I was wrestling with the diet. I said, well, I have a bisexual, homoerotic desires, homosexual lust and desires, right? Why we can't admit it to my friends, right? I'll be judged. And a lot of my fellow rainbow LGBTQ community family, they're in the closet because XYZ, right? And I can understand the financial, economic, commercial pressures because I've lived it, right? If they have a job, if they're bisexual or homosexual, or lesbian, and their job is at risk, right? They say, well, if I come in the open and I'm gonna lose my job, why, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go on welfare. I can't. I have kids, or I have XYZ, or I have debts, mortgage, whatever it is, financial, commercial, economic burdens to secure freedom. And freedom, I mean, in sexual liberation hasn't been easy the past decades for us in Canada, North America, Western civilization, the free world, the world for that matter. For myself, it has not come. Sexual liberation without pain, suffering, blood, sweat, and tears, lots of tears, and it has not come for us. Right? Get dirty but get back clean. All right. Hit it for 13.3 years. Homo, eroticism, bisexual. It's not easy. It's hard to admit. Some things, the emotions, feelings, the irrational. This part of us is logic, thinking, mathematics, and doing. The unconscious, subconscious, the irrational, the creative, the absurd, if you will. The irrational world. It's very important. It has to be complementary to the logic, mathematics. And that's what the dancing goddess army is, complementary, cooperative covenant with the dragon army. Dragon army, just like envisioned in my scenario, which paradoxically parallels, resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis, calling the creation thereof. By public-private partnership, the Dragon Army, officially called International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, to be fused and by mobilizing 1% first of NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization member countries, by doing my General War Integrated All Body Training System, the 300 workout, that's the examination, and the rest all ALL orders given by yours truly, Dragon Zero, must be obeyed. In parallel counterbalance with yours truly, priestess, with a goddess who dances with her brother, the sun. A new spirituality, new race of all willingly loving, the free race. FRE, but freedom must be ensured, which the Dragon Army will do. So mobilizing 1% of population of the adult population, integrating with all existing public and private security forces, police forces, armed forces, to secure the three elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport for all. And transport with, so there's no abuse, right? People abuse freebies, little things, right? Transport to be able to navigate if there's between brothers or sisters, if there's a little bit of misunderstandings, that we can move within locations easily, within a few weeks' notice, of course, and to travel, to experience, to engage with others, to do art, to work out, to volunteer, to clean, to keep hygienic protocols in the public, and to work out, train, dance in the public, make love, lots of love, especially encourage all to get vaccinated. All right, and to share the things we have, whether it's energy, physical energy, knowledge, technologies, or energy to do, skill. During this COVID, I learned massage techniques, although from past lives have. So, the Temple of Solomon was had massage techniques to massage the priestesses of the goddess after they were doing the dances, which sometimes were very intense and very demanding of physical dances, ritualistic dances, as yours truly, Priestess Hannah, does. Anyway, the world peace. Securing those three by the Dragon Army. refused mobilizing 1% adult population, just like in my scenario, World War III, which was created to go hand in hand with the general war integrated all body training system, workout, training, exercise, which resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis, predating it by about 93 days. And that was the solution, mobilizing 1% of citizenry, creating this new institution, complementary covenant cooperative institution, the Dragon Army with the Dancing Goddess Army. The Dancing Goddess Army will dance for the environment, to clean the mountains, to clean the oceans, to clean the rivers, to clean the waterways, lakes, forests, etc., and mass finance solar, hydro, and electric power. Create a global central bank to have a universal unit of exchange by debt refusion, taking all private and public debt, refusing it, the biometrics, the hand, voice, the eye are unique biometrics to finance the two aforementioned institutions, to attain world peace, international justice, and securing global freedom while attaining harmony between civilization and nature. There's a deep philosophy behind it, but in many ways it's very simplified. I don't have all the solutions. I need help myself. I need help. I need help, sure. With XYZ, I can help. What can I help with? XYZ, ZYX. I'm not perfect. Like I said, I perhaps done said things, stupid things, awful things, grotesque things, triggering things, offensive things, right? Gossip. It's not going to ennoble us. It's not going to empower us. It's not going to bring us, uplift us. Sometimes better communicate straightforward, to face, right? Straightforward, direct. With gossiping, right? Yeah. Miscommunications, misunderstandings happens. As much as in philosophical and deep, the intellectual philosophical thinking and analyzing many nuanced, many facets of every issue, of questions, 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 and question upon the question. Sometimes action is also required. Because theory, and thick books, 10,000, and can be just gibberish. And that's important if it fulfills a, can be, for some, for others not. Because our natures, we differ in natures, in characters, in complementary thinking experiences, so I said, right? But we can, of course, ensure freedom, ensure and secure it by that simple three elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport. Calling, of course, on all producers of food and even the fast food distributions organizations such as Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, Harvey's, all restaurants, public and private, and public and private, of course, producers of food, which I'm grateful, the farmers, Canada, US, North America, free world, the Americas, that have had their hands washed, is kissed, massaged. They make us the food, build, maintain, or upgrade civilization. It's such a basic element. And one of my spiritual teachings, as I'm a universal spiritual teaching student, I'm learning things every day, is this simple proposition. And before I go into this, I'm going to go into a dictum which I've read in the book. There's a paragraph of Einstein, like I said, maybe because of certain bias. The quote that I remember most that Einstein said was, "Imagination is greater than knowledge." And because in the parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path, now diverged the more irrational, philosophical, artistic side, emotional, dealt with anger issues, etc., etc., etc. Einstein, now he's grateful really that his work, and acknowledges, meditates, acknowledges, depends That he's able to do the work, the labor, based on generations past labor that came before him, right? And during this COVID, it was too late in each born, reborn, Adrian and Dragan. I realized how, with all the skills, all the multilingual, speak so many different languages, fluent and skills, whatever, how fucking useless it can be in like a crisis emergency since my millennial, 1984 born ass, never farmed in this life. Or starve. I'm gonna starve. Star hunt. Right? I remember past lives when I was a farmer in ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, ancient Babylon, ancient India. I remember. But in this life, I never farmed, I never fed nobody. So we're interdependent, right? Interdependent on meditation to acknowledge it. And that's one of the philosophical aspects that the dancing goddess and the dragon empire and the Phoenix People's Party for us to. Since 1984, we've been a lot of specializations, which created more fracturing of society, right? And now they have more integration, although retain the specialization and the specialized domains in the public and the private spheres, go more simple and integrate. So food, housing, and transport secured, the Dragon Army, local, national, international, to make traveling very easy to do, to change habitations, relatively, of course, with certain limitations, so there's no abuse of it. Could be a limit of to change it 3 times annually or what have you, right? Or monthly, to go XYZ, and to have allocated transportation besides if it's essential, or if you work in the trucking business, my brothers and sisters, you're the truckers who deliver food, items, and goods, right? There's to have an allocated public transport, I mean by bus, train, plane, which citizen, the dancing goddess and the dragon empire to have, say, 355 miles, say, weekly. If not taken, it adds up. Have simple, effective, and efficient, nothing too complicated. Citizen between age and age, 358 or 300. 300 is a good number, like the workout. 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, 93 minutes to do it. Maximum 13 reps per set, minimum 3 or anywhere in between. Minimum marching, jogging, walking, fast pace, 31 seconds. That's the examination to be a member of the Dragon Army yours truly, Dragon Zero, has founded. And that applies to all NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization member states, whether you're a cadet, soldier, lieutenant, high ranking of whatever stars general. You also must be able to do the general war integrated all body training system when those rules, or a willingly loving citizen may be able to join. So the dancing goddess can dance at all levels. Just bust the dance move. Just bust the dance move. And that's it. To be an ally for world peace, dancing for the environment. Gonna go put some more water so the beans, gonna check. So one more pause. Come back in a few minutes. Pause it. Back. Some more coffee. The discussion. Meditation. 3:40 p.m. EST, Hawkeye, Montreal, yours truly, Adrian H. Born, being reborn, Adrian Hana Dragon. Yours truly, Androgynous, Pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire, non-sectarian, calling all willingly loving to maintain world peace, international justice by securing global freedom. By securing global freedom. Not easy. Humanity struggled to attain this seven-letter word. I had so many things I struggled with. Sexuality. 13.3 years, homosexual desires, right? It was truly sexual, pansexual. 7 years ago came in Europe. And many for XYZ, many don't admit or are in the closet, right? For XYZ reasons. But it's a love urge. And this urges love and be loved after the basics are taken care of. It's in the nature of many peoples. So we can have a general approach, specific approach, fundamental approach, and the essence. The Dragon armies to secure, ensure. Excuse me? Yes. That's great. That's the good news, I guess. Well, thank you. So ensuring securing freedom is a must. Sword of freedom is hard to lift. Tiny hands, tiny feet, tiny tiny little scar, which is androgynous. So goddess said cliss. It's just a bigger clit. It's hard. Has been, is hard tough, and we gotta address social economic inequalities, issues of racism, you struggle, prejudices. And I have struggled in my heart with prejudices, with fears, with hidden hatreds, lusts, right? It's hard to admit. I have a psychological dimension, which is hard to admit. And to say, well, I don't know. There's so many things I don't know. I look at this big black laptop. I know a little bit about it. In a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path. Diverge towards the more spiritual, irrational, artistic, emotional side, although retained a little bit of math, a little bit of logic. Not completely mad, yours truly, or artistic. You can ask questions to discern and then a level of understanding, right? But after I record this video, when I put download it, upload it on YouTube, what I really know, well, it goes through the Wi-Fi. The images are converted via the code of the computer, right? It goes through wireless, which is still wonder. It's really a wonder, right? It goes to servers, which are really computers somewhere in California, perhaps San Francisco, or YouTube servers has here or Montreal, or where they are interconnected with the my internet service provider, ISP, right? My ISP address, and it goes. and I voice my image. Well, be on YouTube, therefore some people will see all not getting any views, but doing all, of course, for documenting it. And since I've declared revolution, but first, if I continue with the revolution, my room, office, and temple has to be purified, clean, and reordered. Freedom. So knowing how it goes through the Wi-Fi, connects with our computers, it's uploaded there on their memory cards, and then it's connected to my specific YouTube channel account through algorithms and so on and so forth, and whatever hashtags I put. World Peace, Dragon Empire, Dancing Goddess Empire, Priestess Hana, COVID, Hugs, Love, LGBTQ, whatever it is, right? So I have a general theoretical knowledge. Okay, let's say I start putting it after tonight. Takes XYZ to download, upload, depending on the speed. Then what's in this computer? Well, it says it has faster wireless 802.11 AC. What does that mean? Yeah. So it's faster data transit. How? Narrow bezel, precision touchpad, yes. HDMI port, high definition, multimedia interface port, HDMI port. So plug it in, I can check videos and movies on a bigger screen. HDMI port. Wow, so cool, super cool. But how much do I really know? What's inside it? The board, how does when I type, the has to have electricity. How do the microchip works, transistors, a lot of things, they just work. Right? We don't know exactly how. Some people know more than others in certain subjects, that's for sure. Like on COVID, first and foremost, I don't know what caused COVID. Integrated Dragon army, even fighters, police, all public and private security forces to secure full housing and transport. Once we have secured those three elements of civilization, food, housing, and transport, those three elements secured, we can encourage people to volunteer, to work out, to exercise, to do community work, to dance, to love, volunteering, community work, learning, exercising, loving, and teaching our youth in the art of love, understanding, and to love, to be in harmony between civilization and nature, and that the body is a temple for purpose and for pleasure, to learn, to develop, to grow, and for pleasure and to not be ashamed of their bodies, or for guilty, for harm none other of our brothers and sisters. Help how you can, give and receive pleasure and share and offer. And even if you don't believe in my spirituality, you can believe in a philosophical stance, securing ensuring freedom by a public-private partnership, global central bank by biometrics. So a lot of things do not know are those fire trucks that just passed, right? How much do they weigh? When were they manufactured? Where? How much water do they carry? My brothers and sisters in those fire trucks, are they financially stressed? Are they struggling out there? Rent behind? Could they use a good massage service, right? Justin Trudeau, with the fire service, man, a good hand wash, feet wash. Those allies, armies, I'm willing to do the work that's needed. What's needed to serve the body? It's a temple for pleasure and purpose. Sure, we can be intellectual. Some people is not in their nature, or just intellectual, logic, and mathematical, and that's fine. I'm not without vices, not without mistakes. I did mistakes probably today. I did a few mistakes yesterday. I ask questions, lots of questions. Ask me, policy, comment, propose, and my official volunteer representative, Ratsiela Yelwork. I'm gonna get the pronunciation right. Ratsiela Yelwork. Ratsiela Yelwork will respond, comment, direct, or bless you in my name. Three elements of civilization secured: food, housing, and transport. For all via public-private partnership, Dragan Empire, Dragon Army. Simple. Sometimes that's all we need. Love is action. So I've been involved with organization, proposed so many times to do XYZ activities. Blah blah blah. Sick and tired of it. That's the greatest risk and the best decision. Providential. Blood, sweat, and tears and suffering in this many years in chronic illness and precarious employment and struggling and loneliness. This Hawk Island, Montreal, where their libraries became my second home, and the books, many thousands, my many of friends. My friend, sometimes teacher, the one I love and call sister, who to that trinity of sister, friend, teacher. The fourth dimension to that trinity. My only family that God, and all those willingly loving to be my family via the dancing goddess and the dragon empire. Brothers and sisters, the Phoenix People's Party, the dancing goddess and the dragon empire, allies, armies, you are my family, pledge your allegiance, legions, all those willingly loving. If not, stay 2 meters away and we, Dragon Army, those willingly in the public domain. When we step out in the public, we have a certain responsibility. Sure, I want to see people working out, training, exercising, loving, loving, loving. Not kissing, not hugging. Wasting time, man. Don't waste time. Start kissing. Start kissing. Start hugging. Start dancing. Start working out. Massaging. Don't waste time. Life is short, man. Life is short. Love, love, give, receive pleasure, purpose, train, exercise, love, learn, read. About to read a few books in those 3 books. I'm gonna go take a bath. Let's read the back around this book. Radio astronomy, galactic nebulae and interstellar matter. Yeah. At about age 11, my path towards science, innovation, and technology started diverging slowly, and at 13, diverged. Professor Dufay's book is the most up-to-date and complete account of the very diverse methods of investigation, theoretical and observational, that have led to our present conception of interstellar material, nature, elements of mathematical astronomy. This is radio astronomy, it's called. All those that's a review for other books, though. Probably in the same series of how it's But this book, 1961, a lot of the basic basics are fundamentally, in essence, have not changed. We've changed in many ways, but many things, the fundamental essence has remained. So the dancing goddess who dances with her brother the sun to make, create, and produce all fruits, vegetables, and legumes. And as the sun, the king, is increasing in strength and energy and life force, shed upon the sister that dances with her brother, the goddess, Mother Earth, the greatest artist. 1961, London, Melbourne, Sydney, Auckland, Bombay. First published in 1961, this is the 1961 edition. Science and technology would have been a chosen path. This book is an authoritative introduction to all the techniques and applications of radio astronomy, including radar astronomy and radio waves from the moon, planets, rockets, and satellites. It will be useful to scientists working in many fields while by keeping the mathematical processes to a minimum and, and simplifying descriptions. The author has produced a work of great interest and value to the reader with little scientific training, like yours truly, Adrian H. Born being reborn as Adrian Hanna Dragan. In a parallel life, science, innovation, technology would have been a path when, other than growing up in Canada, would have grown up in Germany, perhaps, and immigrated to Israel, some half Ashkenazi, as yours truly, of course, in the future would have computer science and rocket science and satellites, perhaps would have been even joined to that NSO's Pegasus group. Future, now, timelines, 3:58 p.m. EST, Hawk Island, Montreal. Little scientific training. The introductory chapter contains not only an account of the history of radio astronomy and outstanding radio techniques in existence, but also an intriguing insight into future developments, including the specification of the world's largest steerable telescope, now being built for the US Navy. This work was written in the Radiophysics Laboratory of the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organisation, Sydney, Australia, whose policy of research made the book possible. Commonwealth, which kind of is a member of the Commonwealth, that's what the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire will be in the Phoenix People's Party, a Commonwealth for willingly living. NATO and Commonwealth nations in the Americas and all willingly living in Africa, Middle East, and across the world, East, West, North, South. Commonwealth of the free, securing freedom. This policy of research made the book possible. The photograph on the jacket shows the Owens Valley in California radio telescope. Two 90-foot diameter steerable reflectors mounted on railway tracks from a variable spacing interferometer. Printed in Great Britain. So during the bath, I'm going to do a little bit of reading. A little bit of reading on it. Providentially, this is the ethos, the credo of the 3R, 22R. I like it. It's in French. Yep, the Dragon Zero, Dragon Army gives a lot of this what it is. Third Battalion. Nobody is worthy to fight in the greater cause of freedom unless he has admitted certain things of his own, whether prejudices, whether racism, whether struggling with sexuality. My sisters, forgive, but don't forget too much, our brothers. Got lust. Fools want to be loved, you know. They just don't know how to act sometimes. I want to be massaged. We got lust, we got desires. I'm not perfect. A man, or woman for that matter, is worthy to live the sword of freedom or fight in the greater cause of freedom unless he has internally those, so he said, of himself admitted, acknowledged, up in the open in the light. Because otherwise they grow crooked in the dark. So like Einstein said in one of his paragraphs, memorable paragraph quotations, that he is grateful and acknowledges every day that his work is made able by the labor and the work of many in the past generations, as yours truly, Adrian Dragons, dancing and laboring and ranting and struggling, and is made, although got $10,000 in debt. My rent is paid for August, got food. I'm actually slow cooking some food which should last me 3 days. Got some food in the fridge to last me until this deadline, 31st of August. Food is secured, right? Waiting for a $755 check from the government of Canada. Not a lot, but should cover my paying my rent for September. Should cover the food to pay my a little bit of phone bill. Fight another day. Love and offer love. Another day. Many tears, many suffering, many pains, struggles, have endured, have fought. Still not perfect. My spiritual teachings, fundamental lessons is that we have a physical, spiritual, psychological dimensions, which is sort of like a trinity, a lower self, an intermediate self, and a higher self, and there's two extremes to the highest of the high and the lowest of the low. Usually we should aim for the middle. Sometimes even yours still has a foot in the left, you know. Sometimes I envy him, like the jealousy, the envy, the XYZ. No, I didn't even get $1 donation via PayPal for all the workouts, the videos as an artist, independent artist, athlete, activist that I put on YouTube, on Facebook. I haven't one reached out for a commission. Dragan Zero will commission you $300. Do us a video, do us a workout, send us some poetry. Not even $1. It makes me think that not even one of the fucking leaders of the free fucking world during this COVID, what I would have done as a leader of this free world if I would have been in those parliaments, whatever offices these. So we got a crisis. What a prime minister, president, chancellor, right? Canada, Prime Minister Trudeau. When COVID started, it was Trump, president, of Angela Merkel in China. I would not even one said, you know, I'm gonna be on the streets now. It's time to take control of the armed forces, of the police and as a leader of the free world, whatever country that is, prime minister, prime chancellor. Gonna spend my time in the office. Gonna go make sure my brothers and sisters, fellow citizens, whether left, right, or center, which yours truly is a universal revolutionary centrist, is a non-sectarian dancing goddess and dragon empire, 21st century, should not be extreme left fascist communism, extreme right fascism, and extreme left communism. Should be universal revolutionary centrism, securing freedom, global justice by securing the three elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport, public-private partnerships, a balance between the public and the private, harmony, equilibrium. I step outside in public. Well, here now I can turn it off, get naked, start dancing, and start blah, 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 going crazy if I will. But so when I step outside, a little bit of a responsibility and duty. The Dragon army of those willingly loving to stay 2 meters away from others, if they ask, has to be so, has to be able to reach that concordium for XYZ reasons, hygiene or fears or XYZ. They want to keep distance from other citizens, subjects, or allies of the empire. They can do so and have the right security to be distance. Although those who are vaccinated, I encourage hugging, kissing, loving. You're wasting time if you're not kissing, loving, hugging. You're wasting time if you're not kissing, loving, hugging. You're wasting time, man. Kiss, love, hug. Trillion kisses from the goddess, from my allies, armies, and massages. Push-ups, trillions from the eye of the dragon, the sun. But not even one leader. I'm gonna start marching. That's what I would have done. If I would have been prime minister, president, chancellor of any of the 30 NATO North Atlantic Treaty Organization member countries, I said, brothers and sisters, this suit, this and I'm gonna mount up, dress up, military uniform, start marching in rural urban areas with the military, with the police, east coast, east, west, north, south on the streets. Make sure my brothers and sisters got food secured, got hygiene secured, and got what they need secured, and encourage people to love, to exercise, to take baths, regular baths, and work out and stretch and exercise and dance and love and exercise, and got their food secured and their housing and moratorium on rents and what have you, and go make sure with the troops and the armies. That's what I would have done during COVID. Not even fucking one leader of the free world did that. Leaders of the free world, Dragon Zero's message drop down, give Dragon Zero 13 push-ups. With love and for the sake of world peace, gonna go check on the food again, see if I need some more water. And we're gonna come back, do a little bit more meditative rant reading, put a little bit more coffee. We're back in business. Slow cooking is on. It's gonna be 4:18 p.m. EST in Hawk Island. Continuing the meditation, discussion, coffee drinking session on this dancing goddess and dragon empire, the Phoenix Sabbath, which begins Friday at midnight in Hawk Island, formerly known as Montreal. Lasts 37 hours, 49 minutes, 42 seconds, almost 38. Almost 38, almost 38. Pleasure, recreational dances, baths, and legal drug use. Although I don't do lots of drugs, don't do much, any, almost. Once in a while. It's been a few weeks, 22 days or so today, probably 21 days, 20 days today, or almost a month since I've last consumed some cannabis. Just 2 rolled joints. I rolled them like almost a month ago, and I rolled 3, and I smoked 1 a few weeks ago. And once in a while, it's now sore. It helps me with being sore from working out, training, exercising, and doing a little bit of flex. Once in a while, recreationally. Although my policy for the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empires, we will legalize most drugs, not the harmful ones, but cannabis, cocaine, ecstasy, speed, such as in Portugal for consumption, of course for encouraged with standards and safety and security and understanding, of course responsibility. I've struggled with different struggles in my youth of addiction of too much consuming cannabis or pills and what have you. Quit smoking cigarettes a long time ago. I haven't had a cigarette in many years and it's not for me. But for the legalization of drugs, I am for it. I believe the war on drugs should be converted to war on poverty, war on terrorism, and for us to secure freedom, which the Dragan army will do. Secure for the 21st century, the universal revolutionary centrist way. Bring freedom. I'm just gonna close my window in 3 seconds. Actually not, I thought it started raining, so I thought water was coming in. No need to close it, there's no water coming in. Sometimes if it's windy with rain, I don't want the water to come in, so to prevent mold. So I'm on the ground, literally, in Mumaff's temple. Headquarters of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Emperor of Phoenix People's Party is on Mount Royal Center, south of Hawk Island, Montreal. Yo!
I'm gonna take your offer on that half of the letters, okay? I have to make myself something before I get it.
You're gonna take my offer on half of the lettuce?
Oh, but you said last time because we didn't know if it was yours online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Take it. Lettuce. This book I'm going to be reading, which 2 days ago on my long march in Hawk Island, Montreal, retrieved along with this one. An introduction to diesel engines. This should be a good read. Oh, it has notes. I'm going to write a poem on those notes. Like I said, in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a chosen path, but it should be a cool read. Industrial diesel engines. Alphabetical index. Cool. I'm gonna read the alphabetical index. Ready? Say hut. Air filter, ammonia, antifreeze, fluid, exhale, bearings, bearing positions, bypass filter, camshaft, carbon monoxide, charge air cooling, air to air, charge air cooling, fluid to air, compression rings, compression stroke, connecting rod, oil ducts, coolant filter, coolant pump, cooling losses, cooling mantle, cooling system, copper sleeve, corrosion protection, cranks, crankshaft bearing, crankshaft mechanism, load, crankshaft seal, crankshaft balancing, crankshaft lubricating oil ducts, cylinder block, cylinder head, cylinder gasket, cylinder head seal, cylinder liner gasket, maintenance schedule, 3 12-liter engines, 16-liter engines, diagonal split, diesel engine, petrol engine. Diesel engine is a combustion engine. On the pages, page 9. Diesel engine types. Diesel engines then and now. Direct injection engine, distribution pipe, dry sump, efficiency rating, engine types, exhaust ducts, exhaust gases, exhaust losses, exhaust manifold, exhaust pressure governor, exhaust stroke, exhaust system, expansion tank, feeder pump, filler cap, fine filter, firing order, flame barrier, flat oil coolers, flywheel, four-stroke principle, frictional losses, fuel filter, full flow filter, gallery duct, gear-driven pump, governor, groves, gudgeon pin, hydrocarbons, Y profile, inline engine, injection equipment, injection pump drive, injection pump lubrication, injector, intake ducts, intake manifold, intake stroke, intake system, keystroke ring, lead pollutants. Dancing goddess, gotta preach this, honey, gotta clean pollution. Liner position, lubrication system, main bearing cap, main bearing position, main components, naturally aspirated engine, nitrocarburization, nitrogen oxide, noise deadening panels, page 37, nozzle, 65. Oil, its purpose, oil change, oil cooler, oil filter insert, oil filter replacement, oil filter testing, oil grades, oil pump, oil scraper rings, oil sump, operation, operating process, operational stroke, overflow pipe, overflow valve, oil filter, overhead camshaft, overhead valve engine, partial flow filter, peak pressure, petrol engine, piston categories, piston cooling duct, piston cooling valve, piston cooling control valve, piston ring carriers, piston ring surface treatment, piston rings, piston thermostat, plateau honing, pre-chamber engine, pre-filter, pressure pipes, pressure valve, pressure lubrication system, 7-liter engine, pressure lubrication system, 16-liter engine, pressure lubrication system, schematic diagram, pump circulation, push rod engine, radial sealing ring, radiator fan, thermostat regulated, radiator fans in industrial engines, radiator fans in vehicles, reduction valve, release socket, rocket arm, roller tappets, rotating movement, safety valve, Sankey diagram, side relief, slider ring seal, smokes limiter, spin-on filter, splash lubrication, starter element, starter ring gear, sulfur content, sulfur oxide, support bearing, swirl chamber engine, tank filter, tapering profile, thermosiphon principle, thermostat, thrust washers, timing casing 37, timing cover 37, torsional stress, trapezoidal, trapezoidal, trapezoidal shape, turbocharging, turbo compressor, twist ring, V engine, valve disc, valve guide seal, valve guides, valve lock, valve mechanism, valve seat, valve spring, valve stem, valve tappet, valve loads, valve vehicle engines, vibration damper, a Volvo VDA, Volvo diesel engine type A, wet cylinder liners. So that is the alphabetical index of this book, which I've retrieved 2 days ago while marching for world peace. As yours truly, Adrian, Dragan, Androgynous, Pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire and the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal revolutionary centrist party. Dragon Army, secure food, housing and transport, Dancing Goddess Army, clean the environment, nature, attaining harmony between civilization and nature. So an introduction to diesel engines. I'm gonna take the bath, gonna read it. Along with radio astronomy, an introduction to diesel engines, and this book, these 3 books: Endurance, A Year in Space, A Lifetime of Discovery, Scott Kelly, from Endurance. Copyright 2017. Published published in Viking hardcover by Penguin Canada. 2017. So this is more recent. This is 1961. This is 90. Wow, this is cool. Rudolf Diesel in Berlin. Written in German. So the inventor or a patent inventor of the diesel engine is of course a German, and was named Rudolf Diesel. So diesel engines come from surname, just like yours truly surname is Dragan. Although the motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon, you become one through blood, sweat and tears and suffering, and willingly loving, and by doing that general war integrated all body training system, aka the 300 workout. Of course, what does it imply? And you can be an ally, a supporter, supporting world peace, international justice, global security, by securing the three elements, but only those who are able to do the general war integrated total body training system can be members, soldiers, peacekeeping soldiers, warriors of the Dragon Army for world peace. Nobody is born a dragon. You become one willingly loving unto doing the general war integrated total body training system unto blood, sweat, and tears. It implies it's not because of heredity, inheritance, or other factors such as ethnicity, cultural background, or racial considerations, or sexual orientations. I am a rainbow dragon's tiny hands, tiny feet, dragon, tiny ape, nonetheless. Big mouth, rainbow, spitting fire, dragon, dancing in water, priestess. Yours truly, nobody is born a dragon, you become one. It's the motto, the philosophy embodied in the motto, the Dragon Army. So, yours truly has a surname and took blood, sweat, and tears. And thousands of push-ups, thousands of squats, thousands of hawks, millions of marching steps in this barefoot in this room of Sun Temple, steel-toe boots in Hawk Island, Montreal, or in running shoes in Hawk Island, Montreal. Millions of marching steps, thousands of push-ups, squats, hawks, blood, sweat, and tears to change. Turn that A in my surname, Dragan, in the dragon surname with an O, the dragon. Turn that A at the end, Dragan, surname, the blood, sweat, and tears. Thousands of push-ups, squats, socks. Turn Drag. Turn that A, the before last letter, to an O. To turn dragon into a dragon. But pronounced like Reagan dragon. Surname, not a dragon because of a surname, because of biology, or matter of fact, I barely remember my biological father. So all those willingly living to be my family, allies, armies, family, brothers and sisters of the Dragon Empire, which is one with the Dancing Goddess Empire and the Phoenix People's Party. Dancing Goddess, the Dragon Empire, allies, supporters, lovers, citizens, subjects of the Empire, the Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon. Of yours truly, brothers and sisters of Adrian, Hana, Dragon, please be so and will. And my official volunteer representative, let's yell, I yell work, will communicate, direct, instruct, and bless you in my name. An introduction. See, that's a diesel engine. Introduction to diesel engines. This I'm gonna read. This is published in diesel engine began with Rudolf Diesel, 1892. Wow, cool pictures. I want to see when this was published or the year. This book. 92, I believe. 92. 92, 61, 2017. So, sitting in a parallel life, science, innovation, and technology would have been a path, but diverged. Although I'm okay at math, quite ahead, fractions, multiplications. Endurance, a year in space, a lifetime of discovery. From endurance, I've learned that climbing into a rocket that may kill me is both a confrontation of mortality and an adventure that makes me feel more alive than anything else I've ever experienced in life. A rocket. And one of my favorite scientists, not that well known in the mainstream, although is considered by many in science, innovation, and technology to be the founder, modern father of rocketry, modern rocketry, and whose invention, rocket solid fuel, made space exploration and launching rockets to explore space, even those old ones from the 50s and 60s to modern ones that SpaceX. I'm inviting Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos in this modest room off Sun Temple. Got coffee since I bought it on a special half price reduction. Got big, two big jars of coffee, so can offer them coffee. Not sure about can afford a bagel, but maybe half a bagel. With coffee for sure, and we'll ask thousands of questions, and we'll do push-ups for world peace. Elon Musk, I'm a fan and admirer of Elon Musk's SpaceX and PayPal. Would ask a trillion billion thousand questions about it, and of SpaceX, PayPal, and Tesla, and of course of Starlink and satellites. I've learned that grass smells great and wind feels amazing and rain is a miracle. I've learned that following the news from space can make Earth seem like a swirl of chaos and conflict, and that seeing the environmental degradation caused by humans is heartbreaking. I've also learned that our planet is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and that we're lucky to have it. A stunning memoir from the astronaut who spent a record-breaking year aboard the International Space Station (ISS). A candid account of his remarkable voyage, the journeys that preceded it, and his colorful formative years. The veteran of four space flights and the American record holder, wow, for consecutive days spent in space, wow. Scott Kelly has experienced things very few have. Free hugs for you, Scott Kelly. Dragan offers you a massage. So I learned doing techniques during COVID online. Now he takes us inside a sphere utterly hostile to human life. He describes navigating the extreme challenge of long-term spaceflight, both life-threatening and mundane, the devastating effects on the body, the isolation from everyone he loves and the comforts of Earth, the catastrophic risks of colliding with space junk, and the still more haunting threat of being unable to help should tragedy strike at home. An agonizing situation Kelly faced when, on a previous mission, his twin brother's wife, American Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, was shot while still had 2 months in space. Remember, Kelly's humanity, compassion, humor, and determination resonate throughout, as he recalls his rough and tumble New Jersey childhood and the youthful inspiration that sparked his astounding career, and as he makes clear his belief that Mars will be the next, ultimately challenging step-in-step spaceflight. step in spaceflight. A natural storyteller and modern day hero, Kelly has a message of hope for the future that will inspire for generations to come. Here, in his personal story, we see the triumph of the human imagination, the strength of the human will, and the infinite wonder of the galaxy. Quite a book. Scott Kelly is a former military fighter pilot and test pilot, an engineer, a retired astronaut, and a retired US Navy captain. A veteran of 4 space flights, Kelly commanded the International Space Station (ISS) on 3 expeditions and was a member of the year-long mission to the ISS (International Space Station). During the year in space mission, he set records for the total accumulated number of days spent in space and for the single longest space mission by an American astronaut. He lives in Houston, Texas. Yeah,
You know the kind of beans that you were going to use?
can of beans that I was gonna use. Yeah,
Can I buy it off you?
you wanna buy it?
Yes, please.
I think I still owe you like
Okay, sell to me for the
$6
$99. Come on.
now.
Yes, I have to eat my salad before I paint.
Okay,
You used to have a huge headache. Is that how you eat it?
I got dark red beans.
Doesn't matter. Okay, so you got the butt. No. These are beans?
They're dark red kidney beans. I might have black ones if you don't want the red ones. So I'm gonna read these 3 in the bath. About usually I take an hour and a half bath, 93 minutes. But so in a parallel life, these would have been a favorite books in this life. Spirituality, art, the passion, the psychological, emotional, irrational, diverged into. Although they can work together in a cooperative, complementary, covenant way, science and spirituality, and the natures, the wonders of science and nature, we find, can go together. So before I'm gonna read a poem, so in this life, these 3 books, Book of Thoth, Canadian Anthology of Literature, which is basically it's just lots of poems, Canadian poems. I'm gonna read this one by Margaret Atwood. Margaret Atwood. Kabbalistic Writings 77.7. Kabbalistic Writings of Aleister Crowley are my 3 favorite books. Spirituality and literature and poetry, poems. The world's greatest living dancing millennial rainbow poet. And in a parallel life would have been those other 3, where science, innovation, and technology would have been the chosen path, although in this one diverged towards art, spirituality, and the irrational, the emotive, the more passionate. Although still have retained a little bit of mathematics, logics, and complementary. The doing, the thinking can go hand in hand together as the goddess that dances with her brother sun can go together, and the male and the female. And the public and the private can be harmony and equilibrium. And yours truly, Adrian Hannah Dragan's New World Order of Peace, World Peace, International Justice, and Global Freedom by securing the 3 elements of civilization: food, housing, and transport. A public-private partnership and a global central bank by taking all debt, public and private, refusing it. create and finance the two institutions of the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, in parallel complementary cooperative covenant with the International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, the Dragan Army, to work together for securing food, housing, and transport via public-private partnership and attaining harmony between civilization and nature, and maintaining public and the private balance, harmony, and equilibrium, and a universal revolutionary centrism, which the 21st century must be and will be a universal, global, international, or centrism, public and the private partnerships, the individual and the collective, harmony and balance and responsibilities, freedom assured, our new race, a free race, liberated, of course, not easy from our demons and ecological demons and what have you, accepting the body as a temple of purpose and of pleasure to give and receive, and not be ashamed of our lust and of our sexuality, and embrace our sensual sides and our spiritual sides and the body, and to blood, sweat, and tears this make a little bit of heaven on earth here on this earth by loving each other and loving by action as well. I close my window. Not a cup of coffee. Actually, go check on the food first. Be back. The last poetry reading. Pause in 3, 2, 1. Back. Cup of coffee. Much lighter now. I didn't add fresh ground coffee, but it's usually the same coffee as what am I doing? Too much coffee, right? It's too strong. 4:52 p.m. EST. Yours truly. This 3-hour meditation discussion, Sabbath spirituality video. This is gonna be a long poem. Long to some, not that long. I've read even longer ones. Something fell. An empty bottle of wine that inspired me to make a poem of my own now. If you excuse me, before Margaret Atwood, because she's got her money, she's got her financial security. Love to her, free kisses, a million kisses from the goddess, hugs, but she's got her money. Yours truly doesn't. And something else fell down, which I wanted to add, but Royal Black Quinoa. Royal Quinoa, Royal Black. Black Quinoa. Royal Black Quinoa. Premium Bolivian quinoa, so from Bolivia, the country of Bolivia. I'm just gonna put it back. And a bottle of wine, which is empty. Oh, I have a little bit of wine though. Maybe before I go to bed tonight, I have a little bit of wine. Empty bottle of wine drops. Outside in rains, birds don't sing lots. Coffee burns on the pot. Tick tock, deadlines to meet strikes time on the clock. Love spells well. Who's paid well? Starving artists, poets well. Some are billionaires, hey, 1,000 millions, that's a math equation for a lesson, a teach, a blessing, a legend, alleging assumptions before sentencing structured. Poetry fleeing wild, gotta be ordered on call. Gotta drink and marry and love and lots and kisses from the goddess. Offend, 7-letter word, freedom, responsible attention. Offend, do regress, offend. Just kill me, what you wanna crucify me? For having the lusts in female, women, man, rainbow, androgynous, the racial poetry. Gossip, they gossip, they gossip. Point their finger, say that's malice. 4-letter word, LOV, of a different type. Perhaps you don't follow, you don't understand this love. Love and heart and poets suck. On the ass, so buckle up. Buckle up, 2021, this might be a rap. On the sentence, structured facts. On the cigar, I don't smoke, I watch a lot. Smoke and hug and fuck a lot. I remember, I admit, I'm missing that quite much. Blood and sweat and tears, sexual liberation, hope in the night comes in the dark we fear, subconscious dreams. On the non-discriminatory poets, on the verges, on the drugs. Say no, say yes, say maybe. On the porches, this poet's message to my children. Always time, start kissing and hugging and hugging and kissing and hugging and licking and tripping and touching and pleasing and washing and kissing and get dirty and get royal back and lofty cleaning. Poem, poetry, poets. Poetry, passion. Principled reaction on the stanza with the clock and factions. Realizing many a times in anticipations. All the rappers, they that money, I'm a simple fella, $2 cocktail, gasoline and matches. They react, I react, pointing finger at me, they blame it, gossip. Got a mortal head wounds, black sword hit it, so I don't remember, lost the loss, forgot it. Sure I'm guilty, I said a lot of dumb shit to many a factor. Might have offended, might have triggered, might have done this and that, I admit it. Fool wanna be loved and kissed and hugged and spin it. Won't you will it? 2 meters distance, perhaps best then, please, mister. On the sacrificing many a sentence, on the priestess chased the temples, when the sentence may be in their temples. What a temple! Blue sky lit it on the mountain. Mother Nature, greatest artist, dancing with the sun regardless. One poem, 2 poems, a million pointed dust. That Syria of the pyramids remained. Hey Moses, not all the gods of Egypt were, God forbid, destructed. The chief one Ra, otherwise he would have tripped on that stick on climbing on the mountain and could have not written on those 2 tablets. Ain't that Moses? Got a humor and lust, I'm into pain and suicidal, I understand. the resentments and angers and joys and pains. Starving artist, babbling, mumbling, mathematics, calculating tricks. I know a little bit much about nothing on this cyberspace. Dark webs, maybe my little tiny click is just a click, trillion kicks, laughing tricks. What a monstrous thing. The world peace. And now my poem aside, channeled. Canadian of an anthology of Canadian literature in English. Margaret Atwood is best known for Interlunar of 1984, The Handmaid's Tale, which was 1985, a dystopian novel of which was made already two movies based on it, an older movie and another movie, and Cat's Eye 1988. The Handmaid's Tale, a futuristic dystopian fable about a repressive American society governed by right-wing religious fundamentalists. I'm not dogmatic. I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. I got questions I don't know. There's something I leave to mystery. The sun's name. What does the sun really call himself? And no prophet is or will dethrone the king, the sun who dances with Mother Nature, the greatest artist, the little sister whom the goddess of infinite space, infinite stars, Isis, sends kisses to regenerate. It was to Adrian on a dragon. Progressive Insanities of a Pioneer by Margaret Atwood. He stood, a point on a sheet of green paper, proclaiming himself the center, with no walls, no borders anywhere, the sky no height above him, totally unclothed, and shouted, "Let me out!" He dug the soil in rows, imposed himself with shovels. He asserted into the furrows, "I am not random." The ground replied with aphorisms, a tree sprout, a nameless weed, words he couldn't understand. The house pitched, the plot staked in the middle of nowhere, at night the mind inside in the middle of nowhere. The idea of an animal patters across the roof. In the darkness the fields defend themselves with fences in vain, everything is getting in. By daylight he resisted. He said, disgusted, with the swamp's clamorings and the outbursts of rocks, "This is not order, but the absence of order." He was wrong. The unanswering forest implied it was an ordered absence. For many years he fished for a great vision, dangling the hooks of sown roots under the surface of the swallow earth. It was like enticing whales with a bent pin. Besides, he thought, in that country only the worms were biting. If he had known unstructured spaces, a deluge, and stocked his log house boats with all the animals, even the wolves, he might have floated. But obstinate he stated, the land is solid and stamped, watching his foot sink down through stone up to the knee. 7. And there are 7 stanzas, poetic stanzas, paragraphs, Roman numerals. Things refused to name themselves, refused to let him name them. The wolves hunted outside, on his beaches, his clearings, by the surf of undergrowth breaking at his feet. He foresaw disintegration, and in the end, through eyes made ragged by his effort, the tension between subject and object, the green vision, the unnamed whale invaded. Wow. 1968, Margaret Atwood. Beautiful poem. There's multi-layered meanings, just with fears of the night and imagination. Tricks with mirrors. Tricks with mirrors. It's no coincidence this is a used furniture warehouse. I enter with you and become a mirror. Mirrors are perfect lovers. That's it, carry me up the stairs. By the edges, don't drop me. That would be bad luck. Throw me on the bed. Reflecting side up, fall into me. It will be your own mouth you hit, firm and glassy. Your own eyes you find you are up against closed. There is more to a mirror than you're looking at. Your full-length body, flawless but reversed. There is more than this dead blue oblong eye turned on towards to you. Think about the frame. The frame is carved. It is important. It exists. It does not reflect you. It does not recede and recede. It has limits and reflections of its own. There's a nail in the back to hang it with. There are several nails. Think about the nails. Pay attention to the nail. Marks in the wood. They are important too. Don't assume it is passive or easy with clarity, this clarity, with which I give you yourself. Consider what restrained it. Takes breath withheld, no anger or joy disturbing the surface of the ice. You are suspended in me, beautiful and frozen I preserve you. In me you are safe. It is not a trick either. It is a craft. Mirrors are crafty. I wanted to stop this life flattened against the wall, mute and devoid of color, built of pure light, this life of vision only, split and remote, a lucid impasse. I confess this is not a mirror. It is a door I am trapped behind. I wanted you to see me here. Say the releasing word. Whatever that may be, open the wall. Instead you stand in front of me, combing your hair. You don't like these metaphors, all right. Perhaps I am not a mirror. Perhaps I am a pool. Think about pools. 1974. Interesting. I would ask questions about this poem for sure, the meaning of it. And the mirrors and what we see in it, going beyond the reflection, the appearance, quite a meaning of struggle between superficial apparitions or what we see in the mirror and a more inner dimension of life, I would say. Variation of the word sleep. I would like to watch you sleeping, which may not happen. I would like to watch you sleeping. I would like to sleep with you, to enter your sleep as its smooth dark wave slides over my head, and walk with you through the lucent, wavering forest of blue-green leaves with its watery sun and 3 moons, towards the cave where you must descend, towards your worst fear. Wow. I'm gonna read this again. And walk with you through the lucent, wavering forest of blue-green leaves with its watery sun and 3 moons, towards the cave where you must descend, towards your worst fear. And walk with you through the lucent, wavering forest of blue-green leaves with its watery sun and 3 moons, towards the cave where you must descend, towards your worst fear. I would like to give you the silver branch, the small white flower, the one word that will protect you from the grief at the center of your dream, from the grief at the center. I would like to follow you up the long stairway again and become the boat that would row you back, carefully aflame in two cupped hands to where your body lies beside me, and you enter it as easily as breathing in. I would like to be the air that inhabits you for a moment only. I would like to be that unnoticed and that necessary. Margaret Atwood, quite the poet as well. As might have read years ago poetry by Margaret Atwood, perhaps years ago. I've read The Handmaid's Tale in 2009 or so. I watched the first movie with Robert Duvall a few years ago. I don't watch the new version, I'm willing, but it's interesting. I opened at page 718 of this an anthology of Canadian literature with mostly short stories and more poetry and lots of poems in this book. The world peace, 7 minutes to go. It will 3 hours. It automatically will put a stop to. Videos are 3 hours set long length, which is quite enough. You're still in this 5:12 p.m. EST Hawk Island, a special meditative rant discussion where yours truly, Adrian H. born or died during COVID, being reborn as Adrian, Dragan, Androgynous, Pansexual, founder of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, which are one empire under the sun and the stars on earth, for world peace, international justice by securing global freedom and attaining harmony between civilization and nature, calling on all ALL willingly loving to join, support, be allies, citizens, supporters, lovers of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Empire, the non-sectarian Universal Revolutionary Centrist Party, Phoenix People's Party, and is of course Universal Revolutionary Centrism, which public-private harmony and equilibrium between the public and the private, life and spheres, and Universal Revolutionary Centrism for world peace by public and private institutions, organizations, corporations to secure the three elements of civilization by the Dragon Army, officially titled International Citizen Integrated Social Security Force, of which yours truly, Dragon Zero, is the founder thereof during COVID, paradoxically in a parallel providential manner. This is my scenario, which began with a new workout program called General War Integrated Body Training System, which so called the 300, which anybody willingly loving to be a warrior peacekeeper of the Dragon Army must be able to do. And be an ally, supporter of the general principles and mission of world peace by securing the three elements of civilization, but to be able to do the workout in order to be eligible to be a member of the Dragon Army. 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, 93 minutes to do them. Maximum 13 reps per set, minimum 3, anywhere in between 10, 7, 6. Do it 10 like me. Reps per set, you don't stop once you start the clock. 93 minutes you march, jog, walk, fast pace, and do maximum 13 reps per set, minimum 3 or anywhere in between, changing whenever you feel, as long as you get to 100 for each. And you march, jog, walk, marching steps preferred as military, and minimum of 31 seconds in between each. Marching, jogging, walking, fast pace, Dragan army, complementary covenant cooperative institution to the dancing goddess army, which will be an all-gender international integrated dancing, all-gender integrated, and that will be an all-gender, all ages, all sexual orientation, all willingly living cooperative dance league. Although there can be dances and professional dancers at all levels to cooperate and to organize mass dancing events across the world for the mass cleaning of the oceans, rivers, waterways, lakes, forests. In harmony between civilization and nature, there's no God without the goddess. Mother Nature is the greatest artist. Calling the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, MLB, Major League Baseball, National Basketball Association, European Soccer, who patriarchal sports leagues since 1984 have made millions of dollars. Averaging salaries for the NFL is about $3 million, NHL $6.6 million, MLB millions of dollars, NBA millions of dollars. Average salaries, some will make $1 million, some will make 3, others 7, others even 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 millions a year. Annual contracts, of course, in European Soccer League. Counterbalance, although it'll be integrated dance league, dancing with a purpose, calling on the aforementioned NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, MLB, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Basketball Association, European Soccer to give no less than half, 50% of all their financials. In order for yours to be priestess, Hannah, to lead the priestesses and the dancers to dance in the cleaning, dancing with a purpose, clean the oceans, rivers, waterways, lakes. Yours truly finance on the mountain, the headquarters of the dancing goddess and the dragon empire. The Phoenix People's Party headquarters on Hawk Island, Montreal, formerly known as Montreal, now Hawk Island. From above, surrounded by the Montreal Island, the metropolis. Island is surrounded by a big river. It looks like a bird. Spread wings and a head. Spread wings, it looks like a bird. A hawk. Musicians saw hawks a few years ago on Mount Royal, and a stormy day they came down, and a sunburst and shone on the hawk, and kind of looked at me and communicated and said, "This is Hawk Island." And I said, "Yes, no problem." Hawks. Squats, push-ups, 100 for each. Do 93 minutes to do it, 100 for each. Maximum 13 reps, minimum 3 or anywhere in between. Marching, jogging, walking, fast pace, 31 seconds in between. Yours truly, Dragan Zero, founder of the Dragan Army, did 213 sessions already. If you can do it, gotta show me and my official volunteer representative, Ratsiel work, who communicate, direct, and instruct, and respond and bless you in my name at a link, and be able to yours truly free. Really see that you're doing within the rules. Calling all private and public technology corporations for the Dragan app, Dancing Goddess and Dragan app, securing food, housing, and transport, and cleaning the oceans, waterways, rivers, and creating the global central bank by biometrics, the eye, the voice, and the hand, unique biometrics by refusing all private and public debt, and creating a universal unit of exchange in order to finance the two institutions, complementary covenant, cooperative institutions, Dancing Goddess and Dragan Army. Adrian, Hannah, Dragan, love you.